Cocaine is derived from the leaves of the coca plant. When cocaine enters the body, it has a strong effect on body functions by acting as an irritant on the brain. Large overdose of cocaine causes convulsions, then death. Cocaine causes unusual and often unpredictable feelings and actions. In his ignorance, Marty took that dare, little knowing the eventual horror that lay in the deadly white powder.
Marty, have you seen the painting shears I bought last week? Can't seem to find them anywhere. Marty, you don't seem right. I'm worried about you. There's something wrong. I'm going to take you down to Dr. Vickers this afternoon for a checkup.
No, I'm all right.
As his body gradually built up a tolerance, he needed more and more of the drug.
Man, I'm already sick of myself, Sarah. Yep. Oh, I think I gotta turn off the music. Yep. And I'm gonna pick the seat. I'm gonna take this off. Get on there. You know, I keep trying to do something a little different each time. That's not necessary, Sarah. Let's just keep it real. Okay, but I'll make sure we're both on the camera here. Okay. Live. It's beautiful. Okay. I can see you, you can see me. Hi! If I can look at myself too much, I won't do this, Sarah. In fact, I'm gonna grab my glasses. So, welcome, Bridge Sky here. I think this is gonna be likely, this is the third time I've showed my face on our collaboration. And you know who's been the one dominating on accident? Me. But next year, when we do this next year, I'm hoping more folks will get in on this. I would like to introduce a very amazing badass mom, Sarah Jane. Welcome. Welcome to Kiss Recovery 101. This whole collab. What is it? Find out. What is it? Fuck around and find out. That's what I titled it because I don't know what's going to happen. And we're going to do some hot seat. Literally on the fly questions. Yeah.
I haven't looked at any of them.
Pick a card, any card. Now, the main thing is, I'm sure it'll be easy to do, but whatever we answer, I want to try to bring some recovery dynamic into it. It's easy for me. I had half my life in there, in that space. You want to read it out loud?
What is the easiest word I can't spell correctly?
That's lame. That's an icebreaker. Try again. I knew that might happen. Well, there's two of them there.
Oh.
You got options.
Okay.
I want to tell you, if you're tuning in right now, we are live. Reason I love this live stuff is we're looking at the comments. I can see when there's an eyeball there, you listening, looking in, you're looking. Bruce does not do video often. I don't like the videos, but I'm accepting myself and how I look and how I show up. And I'm tired, so it is what it is. But comment away if you have questions. If we say anything that you're like, I agree, I don't agree. I encourage you to, we can see you right here, right? You can see the comments? So please interact with us. What you got there?
So I've got, what would I have a tattoo of if my parents had let me get one at age 13?
What's that one?
What was my last Google
Okay,
search?
listen, Bridge is going to just peek through these. We're going to pick a juicy one. Man. Ooh, my love life has been turned into a graphic novel. What is the title?
Love life?
It's a graphic novel, which is irrelevant. It could just say novel. Because it's just asking what that title would be. That's something you can think on. While you think on that, maybe start talking on that, I'm going to go find a really great question that really digs in some deep layers there.
My love life has been turned into a graphic novel. What is the title? I would probably say disastrous moments. I'd say, yeah, probably.
And tell me more about that, Miss Sergi.
I was with pretty much addicts, pretty much. Yeah. And I drank with them, but like with my ex-husband, I was sick of parenting all alone while he was drinking and still partying, and well, I shouldn't say that. He would go to work, he was a functioning alcoholic, go to work, come home, eat, fall asleep, and I would be raising the kids on my own pretty much. And so got sick of that.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Let's add to your title though. Like, I like the beginning. What about the title could you add that would encourage some sad single person who's also had disastrous relationships to maybe believe that at the end of your book there's a happy ending? There's hope.
Disastrous moments turned.
What's the opposite of disaster? Magical? Okay, that's too cheesy.
Grateful?
Grateful. I mean, that's okay. We can do better than
Like,
that.
I'm grateful for them because they gave me my kids. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm thinking about your future romantic partner. What's the word that would just that in the spectrum? Come on, let's think about it. Think of your celebrity crush. What words come into play with that?
Celebrity crush.
Mm-hmm. Who, when you find out he's also in recovery.
LL Cool J.
Ooh, yes. Okay.
50 Cent. Jeff Goldblum.
Okay, start the title again.
Disastrous. What did I say? Disastrous moments.
Turned. Hands. I can't. I'm too tired. I'm getting visuals into too much. I can't.
Disastrous moments turned
Lusty.
into grateful moments. Happy
Grateful.
moments.
I can't do it. Guy I make magic with. Never mind. We're changing the subject. I felt 3Ds.
Turned into magical moments.
Yeah, magical mountains of love and passion. Oh, God. Sorry. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
These I know are decent, okay? And there's different levels here. Okay, what do we got? Read it out loud.
What is something that I've accepted that I will never understand?
Okay, I got this one. You think on that one, because that's a good one.
Okay.
I'll think about that too. What is an unwritten rule that I believe everyone should follow? Not written anywhere. That's interesting, because I think there's a lot of those things that are just like common decency things,
Yeah.
right? And I believe it would be nice if everyone would follow that. How about it goes to the golden rule, you know, do unto others as you do to yourself. And I would say where I sit, especially this event this weekend, rather than talking in a conversation to relate, sharing too much of myself in hopes of connecting, I believe that I'm really getting better. It's hard when I'm excited too, Sarah.
Yeah.
At listening, not talking,
Yeah.
and only responding, which it's still a struggle for me, but I caught myself a lot. I'm better at it,
Yeah.
especially with Chelsea. Like, oh man, all the things she was talking about, I was struggling so hard
Yeah.
not to, but really taking the time to wait and hear what any conversation I had right now,
Yeah.
and wait, take some time before I respond, and make sure it's relevant to what they acknowledge they just said,
Yeah.
and not respond. And I'm so excited to connect. Let's talk about me again.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
And it's not that you really want to talk about you, it's just that you relate.
Girl, that's already the 10:30 karaoke alarm. You got some time.
We got time.
Okay. So yeah, what do you think of that?
Yeah, that's a good one. And because I'm always afraid, if I get a thought, sometimes I lose it.
Right.
I can't find it again. And I'm like, and then I remember next time, oh, that's what I was going to say.
Right.
You know, and I don't, and it never gets said. I hate that when that happens. But that happens a lot if I don't. I try not to say it and I try not to interrupt, but it's hard. When I feel like I'm going
Yeah.
to connect and then I'm going to lose it.
You're
And then
literally
not, and
great
then
at
not
it.
be able to,
Yes.
you know, remember it.
You're really great at it though. I feel like I've been talking way too much, and you are always listening. And I want to, especially with you, one of my close friends, work on that more. Yeah. It's funny, you're making it about me. Here we go, Sarah. That last conversation I had with Charlie, because he kept going on, and I'm like, ooh, I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
He kept going on, like, wait, I gotta talk about that too. I like that
I
too.
know, and then you lose it.
And, yep. By the time he finished sharing his knowledge, his wisdom, I was like, I feel stupid now because I can't remember anything I was going to share. What were we talking about again?
I know.
And so there's literally
I
a
lose
moment.
it.
Yep. There's like a moment. I cut him off. I think I gotta look at it's out there. It's out there in the world. I think I said, Charlie, I'm having a squirrel mind moment. Hold on. Let me talk about this point that you had brought up. And, you know, but I think, especially this weekend, I was like, because we had a lot of wonderful new folks coming into our room. And it's easier for me when it's in person, especially. Because I really want that. However, running into people I know, or even Andrea, or you, I get all excited.
Yeah.
I literally, a couple times with Andrea especially, I'm like, listen, so you can respond to her, okay?
Yeah.
And because she just, the things you guys share about, I connect with immediately, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Right.
It's not that I'm trying to ignore you, and I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to just practice making sure that I kind of reiterate what you said, so you know I'm present. It's more for me. I know I'm present, and I heard everything you said.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that, so that I'm not just responding in a selfish manner.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
I hope that you, Andrew, you don't think I'm a selfish person.
No, I don't, because I feel this. I do the same thing. Yeah, I get it.
No, you don't. Not around me though.
Really?
I don't notice it. I
feel like I interrupt people all the time.
So
That's why I never talk, because I
love that. I want you
it's
to-
like I have to have a notebook all the time. Like if you're talking to someone, I like to, oh yeah, and then I'll remember all the things. Okay, now this is what I get out of this, and this is how I feel about that you just talked to. Like when he was just talking,
Yeah.
feels like I have to have a notebook.
do that.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid. That's why I carry my fanny pack.
yeah,
Okay, it keeps my planner on me, keeps
Yeah.
my phone on me, and well, this video thing is hard. So it's beautiful as well. I've done my interviews and doing my interviews, and people are saying stuff. Shit, I'm writing it down.
yeah,
We're gonna circle back into that.
Yeah.
Circle back to that.
yeah,
So I know that when I listen to my old shows, I know it was easy for me to keep it a flow that made sense because I was writing it down.
yeah,
But and for me now, like I love learning and knowledge. Or in meetings, somebody shares something. There were so many things in that last big speaker meeting. Were you able to watch on the TV?
I want a little bit. We were kind of talking.
She just had some really great things. Like, not gonna forget this. Not gonna forget this. Not gonna forget this. She shared something great. forget this. I don't remember anything right now.
I know. I know. I hate it.
I was trying to be in the moment though.
I hate it. Yeah.
I feel like though tonight I'm gonna try to do some journaling, and I'm gonna talk to fellow people that were there with me that was part of it. Anyway, okay, that question was kind of interesting. Yeah, that's a good one. How about you? Oh, sorry. It's a beautiful, cute skirt.
Oh, this one.
Oh, sorry.
That's my swimsuit.
Do you have an unwritten rule though that you believe that everyone should follow?
Unwritten rule that everybody should follow.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice.
Yes. Is that really so hard?
Right.
Like that's simple and that's perfect.
Yeah. And something that I learned with that,
Yes.
and I've been noticing a lot. I have someone close to me that she's young, and she started, she's 14. She started, like, she'll just walk the house. Like, she'll just go from room to room. She'll pace a lot.
Uh-huh.
And my mom and I were like, why do you do that? Or, and well, maybe there's something wrong with her. Is she, autistic? What's the deal or whatever? Mm-hmm. Well, so I just asked her, I said, why do you feel like you need to walk around or pace? What? I don't know, I just want to walk. I'm like, oh, okay. And so then I'm like, well, there's nothing really wrong. I mean, what do I care if somebody wants to pace?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it might make some people feel maybe uncomfortable in the room or something.
Mm-hmm.
Having somebody walking around might make somebody feel maybe uneasy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's what she needs to do or wants to do, then be nice. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to label it.
Yes. Okay, now bring that into the being nice thing.
So like don't get mad at her for it or think that she
Judging.
Yeah, being judgy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I offer feedback?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I happen to know a 21-year-old that does that. And I think when I first became aware of it, maybe a year ago, actually I wasn't even aware of it, somebody else pointed it out. I didn't even notice it. Because guess what, Sarah? We're just sit down much around her house.
Yeah.
But I'm protected. I'm doing chores. So
Yeah.
like it's not noticeable because I think I'm doing something. So I didn't even notice. And so when it got pointed out and then I was aware of it and noticed it, he's made a point to express it, not like necessarily in terms that like it's figured out. It's like comforting, and it's when anxiety happens. Anxiety.
Yeah.
So I'll notice he's waiting for the bus. It's running late, and that's when the pacing was there, right? Mm-hmm. So knowing that, and his generation, he has the phone here all the time, and he has. I have carrier too. For me, it's a comforting thing. For me, in my ADHD brain, it helps me to have something constant and something I want to focus on. Like, here's the funny thing. I don't know if it makes sense to you or anybody else. For me, having like something I'm listening to in here, whether it's music or something to focus on, actually allows me to hear other people better. Because when I don't have this to focus on, it's like my PTSD part when there's so many people and things going on. I'm hearing, looking, and seeing everything. Yeah. And it's very hard for me to just be where I'm at.
Yeah.
However, like it shows up in different scenarios, environments, spaces, and all that. Now with the 21-year-old, I talked to my therapist about it. And she mentioned and made it very clear that a way I do it is especially in where I'm standing and I can't just move or do something weird, productively weird, I will sway.
Oh, I do that.
It's a mom thing too.
Yeah, it is.
It's a self-soothing thing. Yeah? Yeah. Yes. So that's where my first thought goes to, but I love that you asked.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee, like, I didn't even notice that I did the swaying thing. Now I notice it every time. I wait for Tim, my maintenance guy. He's explaining all these things that I have no idea what he's talking about. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, there I go with that swaying thing again. It's so weird because I'm not holding a baby anymore. But it's like, it's really hard for me to just sit here and listen to all these things. I have no idea anything about
I do it in line
mechanical,
a lot
plumbing, anything.
when I'm waiting in line.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
They're all probably the whole time.
And now I really encourage you, and now I'm gonna try to notice it in other folks too.
Yeah.
But everyone has a thing, I think.
And I think it's also being kind to yourself and allowing, like,
Yeah.
it's okay if you need to rock. Like,
Yes.
you know what? It's okay if I need that.
Yes.
You know?
Like the shaking your knee.
yeah.
There's
if
folks
what
that
you
do
need to
that.
do.
You know, there's folks that there's all different
'Cause
forms.
I've heard all my life, stop that. Stop doing that. Why are you doing that? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Stop chewing your gum that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that.
Yes.
Like, I've learned, you know what? There could be a lot worse things
Yeah.
that I could be chewing on, okay?
Okay. Ooh, I love that. Okay, let's do one more. I don't want you to feel like you have to stay here. So whenever you want to say we're done, we're done.
Yeah,
But I
can
don't
do
want
this
you
one.
to miss your karaoke thing. Okay, what's that one?
What is something that I've accepted that I will never understand?
Woo! That's a good one.
I right away knew this one. My son's dad, my youngest son's dad. I will never understand why he doesn't want to be involved with. I'll never understand that.
Never say never.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say, but
Yeah.
it's true. And it might come later.
Yeah.
Counter feedback.
Yeah.
As your friend and knowing your family, I 100% guarantee it is not about you or
Yeah.
your amazing children.
Right.
You know that, right?
That's why I don't understand.
But the not knowing is that why then? Why?
I know.
And as we know, in this program and in these steps, what do we always say?
You can't control it. You can't control someone else. You can only
And-
control how you react to it.
Yep. And he's a sick person,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Probably sicker than maybe you know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true.
So yeah, and here's what is enlightening for me is recognizing that now it's the 180. You know, I feel like with all this healing and everything, there's so many folks that probably aren't even aware of addictions that are legal
Oh,
and don't have a program or a step or even awareness that there's some healing that needs coming or some recovery, right?
yes.
And I notice, especially those folks that don't even realize it or realize it and are just very much in denial, like to point out where it's easy to point at alcoholics
Yeah.
or addicts.
Yep.
You know, labels. It's easy to label that. And for me, though, it's been wonderful to recognize through all my self-reflection. Oh, it's been hard work. It still is hard work.
Yeah.
I'm able to see myself and that saying of life is a mirror. And what I'm seeing in other folks, it's totally a reflection of myself. And I can be aware that, like, if anyone's calling me out or whatever, my second thought is, I wonder what's really going on with them. You know, especially if they're not in recovery.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes physically,
They're
I
not.
can see they're not healthy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's obvious. Just how they're coming at me. Not being nice, kind.
Yeah.
Angry a lot. Actually, anger, rage is a addiction. Did you know that?
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Beth H., who is part of our GrandMom
I'm not
story,
surprised. I think anything can be.
she shared about it. Beth H., her story. Her dad was a rageaholic. Maybe it wasn't her. No, I think it was Brett shared about. Her dad was a rageaholic. A rageaholic. I never heard of that. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And I, of course, because of that conversation, I did some research, and it's scientifically shown that it's like dopamine hits. It lights up certain things in the brain that they, a rageaholic is addicted to that rage and anger. My dad also, 0 to 10%.
Yeah.
It would seem like out of nothing.
Yeah.
But he wasn't talking about nothing. He wasn't working on himself. I guarantee he could reason that there was no awareness needed to be had. Instant rage. And it was amazing to hear her say that, because my story, my parents in the household I grew up in were not alcoholics or addicts at all. Yeah. So I didn't get to put that on my YV card.
Yeah.
But when she did, and when she mentioned that though, I'm like, oh yes, my dad was 100% rageaholic. And it's almost, for me, it was kind of harder to accept that. He didn't have substance use disorder as a reason for being how he treated me and my brother. So I'm like, just, I don't know. He died, he lived a sick person as I knew him, only as I knew him. And he sadly died a sick person. And I'm happy to say I'm breaking that cycle of whatever generations he came from.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go to this other character. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
The ladies, you know?
Okay.
You gotta go with it.
Oh, God.
Here we go. What is the most unusual reason I've broken up with someone?
Are you going first?
If you got a question ready, there's so many things. When we do the icebreaker in our work, everyone's like, "Well, what does that mean?" And what I love is that it's an open.
Yeah.
So I want you to go first, because my mind already wants to pick apart the wording of this.
Let me read it again.
Oh, of course.
What is the most unusual?
So broken up, does that mean you have to have been in a relationship or dating? What's the label with that? But again, it's open to perception.
Broken up.
Broken things off? Because maybe I made a point to be like, we ain't dating. No one's going to know what we're doing. There's no commitment. But it's got to be broken off right now. It's got to end. Think of anything?
The most unusual reason
I imagine it'd be a short-term thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna think out loud here. What's the usual? Oh, reason. Okay. How about in the dating spectrum? I haven't done it in so long.
I know.
I just remember, like, freshly divorced. It was really, if I got to that, okay, it only took me a couple messages to the physical thing. If I'm not feeling that chemistry right away, it was really hard to get that. But then if I took the time to go on some dates, hang out with you more, one of the reasons I remember was I was very unattracted to a feature that he was not maintaining. And I thought, as a service, because I would want to know that, how do I let him know this without hurting his feelings?
Right.
But I would want to know someone it's not the main reason.
Yeah.
And the attraction wasn't like just that real. I mean, he was a little attractive, but it's not enough to continue any more dates because I just really. And so then I hyperfixated on one of these grooming things. Terrible. I'm not gonna think of what it is. I don't even want to know how petty I was back then. It's not even still. It's relevant still to this day. I check it on myself too. I did bring it to his attention. You're a little hairy in some areas that you look at the mirror, you're not aware of this feature. You're a dude. As a female, I have to try to be more aware of hair that's too much. It's past my bedtime hour. So anyway, I waited a couple days. First I said, I don't want to waste your or my time here. I think you're cool. I think I'm just not in a space where I want to waste time, I waited a day or two and I said, and by the way, I don't know if anyone's told you, in my mind, I'm thinking your best friend's a sister. Somebody should tell you this thing. Yeah. I just want to let you know, look into like maintaining that because it's very distracting. And I found it to be. I'm sorry, it's so mean right now. But like when I'm in a conversation with someone, there's at least an attraction, but they're not. I'm not engaged in the conversation for whatever reason. I'm not vibing that way. Then I'm be staring at your face and smelling you. I'm taking in everything else. Then I know when I've had those chemistry moments, like physical. I'm all in. I'm not listening to anything you're saying necessarily. I'm just all ready to, yes, take you wherever you want to go. But the point was, like, because the conversation wasn't there, he was kind of cute. I hyperfixed on it, and then it just became hideous. It's not even hideous. I don't know what it is, but it's like, it just told me right there, stop wasting his time, stop wasting my time. Okay, here's the response I got, Sarah. How we gonna make about recovery? So here's the beautiful thing about the recovery space. This was not bridge in recovery. Okay. And I recognized, and of course he was like, no one's ever said that to me before. You're a jerk. Bye. And I was like, I just hope that later on he was like, maybe somebody else brought it to his attention as well, and I hope later he realized, oh shit, I have heard that before. It can't be a lie. Maybe I could just trim it up a little bit. Like, handle that. I don't know. I seriously make my friends, I'm like, if I got something hanging on my nose, like, like I just blow my nose and I didn't realize, or like, I spent a whole meeting with mascara smeared down. Nobody told me. Not one person. I'm like, you're my friend. You tell me. And if you would like, I promise to tell you. I want you to be the one instead of me walking around looking at a mess.
Come on. Yeah, have my back.
This will be my friend.
God.
No. I didn't break things off, though.
My
was
daughter
no
would totally
commitments.
tell me that. She'd be like, Mom, do something with that.
Ooh, girl, yeah, my gosh, she will tell
She will tell me.
all my flaws.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you think of anything? I mean, we could go more deeper into it. I mean, reasons I've broken up with someone.
Well, I have one that I had a really strange first date, and I actually blocked him after that.
Okay, I want to hear this.
We were just talking online first, and then for a week or whatever, maybe. And I never gave anybody, I go out with them first and meet in person before I even give my address, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we met for our date, and he brought me a balloons, a gift, and a big teddy bear to our first date.
Okay.
And I thought that was very strange and
Very
a very
much.
big red flag.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say anything. I went through the date, and he was all lovey-dovey and talking about, future things.
Ooh,
and I'm
that's
just
scary.
like, oh, yeah, I don't think so. And so I mean, some people might say, well, nice. He was nice. He was being nice. He brought you a gift and blah.
No,
because
that's too
that's what
much.
I've heard. I've told it to some people. Well, he was being nice. He brought you a gift and blah. No.
That's something way down the line when you're at least gone on a couple dates.
Yeah, this is our first time meeting.
Correct. Did you
I could see a
reiterate that?
rose or a flower or
Yes.
something like that. I
Balloons,
get
a
that.
teddy bear, what else?
Balloons, a teddy bear, and a gift of this book thing, wrapped up in a gift.
Interesting. I've never had anything like that happen.
That was the one and only.
I'd immediately be like, did someone just, I don't know if you
And that was when I deleted the online thing again. I was like, I'm online, and then I get off in a couple weeks because I'm just like, oh.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Baby.
So yeah, I guess that would be the first thing that I thought.
Let's flip it. You ready? Real quick. Here's that enlightenment piece of the steps of my sponsor and all that. we read the story. She's telling me how Bridge baked the list. I think she had known me 6 years of not figuring out the recovery. I've been walking in her space 6 years. And she wasn't even my mentor or my sponsor. Well, she was my mentor, but not knowingly.
Yeah.
And so she had been seeing Bridges' life and my patterns. And I remember she had me start thinking about, like, well, what are the things that your ideal partner would have, right? List those out, all the things. Physically, personality, future, all the things, right? So I made this long list. You know, she said, go all out, all the things that come to your mind that would be like your dream companion partner, right? And I listed all these things. Then, to bring her the list, she's like, hands me the paper. She's like, these things? Bridge, are you these things on your list here? Look at the list. Yeah, I'm not like 75% of these things. I don't have a nice job. I don't have, you know, like, I don't work out and have a healthy, like, lifestyle.
Right.
I mean, I want one and I try, but not like what I just enlisted here.
Yeah.
And so she goes,
The way you listen.
this is a great list, Bridge. I want you to make yourself these things. And when you make yourself these things, I mean, you know, she didn't say it like that. She said it in such a loving manner. I didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah.
When she flipped it on me.
Yeah.
She's like, and when you become these things, then let's look at what, you know, because I was talking about going in that dating pool again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
And she said, look at, like, making yourself, whatever. Okay, so she's like, asked me, she experimented, just try to experiment, 3 months. Just 3 months, stop looking at outside dating, feeling, you know. So I turned it in my head, like, I'm going to just start dating myself. I can do 3 months.
Yeah.
I can commit to myself for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, I really do think I'm a decent person. I want to like myself. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then 3 months went by, and 6 months went by.
Mm-hmm.
3 months went by. Before I do, it was like a year. And I'm like in this now committed relationship with myself. I find that I like myself more.
Yeah.
I had to rewrite that list. I really wanted to, because I knew that I had became a lot of the things on the list, and there was a lot of things on the list that now that I have values and I value myself, don't make sense anymore. And what's beautiful is now my list is much shorter, much shorter. However, that shorter list, heavier, deeper, more meaningful list. Yeah, and much more open to human beings.
Yeah.
Not crushes
Because you've
in
lived
the
it
movie.
yourself. You've done it to yourself.
It's real
Yeah.
people. Well, I'm the person right here.
Yeah.
And so one of my roommates, Holly,
Yeah.
I love her to death. I went out. I just okay, and it's been a long time. Okay, like by then I had a few years. And I'm like, I'm gonna try this dating thing. It's so hard for me sometimes to do it. It's a lot of work. It's to get. I like to dress up. Dress up, wear a dress, or whatever.
Yeah.
Make sure I got a sitter, all that.
Yeah.
Take all that time, all that energy.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, here's the things that I did like, I did whatever. I'm like, I think I'm too picky now. Now I'm too picky. Now I'm too full of myself. And she goes, no. Look at it this way, Bridge. The thing is, you're not picky. Now you have standards, Bridge.
Yes.
You have standards. And I love that. Already I was beating myself up. And now I'm too picky. Now I'm too much. No, I just actually have.
No.
I worked so hard to get to this level.
Yeah.
I just want someone to be at least starting point, at least wanting the things that I want, to have an open mind space.
Yeah.
I have standards now.
Yes.
I'm not going to be this person that's like, oh, it's okay. Well, I'll just help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. And that never served me.
Right.
It just made me start back down here when I'm already like, my cup's not very full.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this person's gonna do that, and I just realized I kept going lower and lower and lower.
Yeah. Now that you filled your own cup, you
And I
don't
know
need somebody
how to.
else
Yeah.
to do that. They're gonna just add to more.
Yes. I realized, like, what I love to talk about when I fantasize about a partner or a companion, I'm like, I want someone who's gonna challenge you. I don't know who said it, because at first I heard that, I'm like, I'm not trying to have debates. I'm not trying to have someone who's gonna be like, I'm better than you, you need to get better than me. What I realized it meant, or how I made it connect to myself, is I want someone that has that open mind and has maybe a perspective that they want to have challenge what I say. I love that in a loving manner.
Yeah.
a kind manner, a nice manner, like so we can learn from each other, challenge each other to. I want to grow. I want to continue growing.
Yeah.
And learning and whatever. And I want someone who's like, I know everything, you know nothing.
Yeah.
Challenge me. I mean, I want someone to be like, I'm like, Bridge, hey, Sarah, guess what? I know all these things about these things. And I want you to be like, have you thought about it this way, Bridge?
Yeah.
Instead of feeling dumb, I could feel like,
Oh,
I never look at it like that.
Right. Oh, I learned something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
However, I find that, I mean, it's easier for the same sex to
Yeah.
challenge each other is a good thing. I notice with males, they don't like. I've heard I'm intimidating. I'm intimidating. I'm the biggest nerd,
I know.
awkward person. Maybe that part's intimidating. I'm not intimidating. I don't feel like. I just feel like I do feel that empowerment piece of I know myself. I actually love myself,
Yeah.
and I do like a challenge.
Yeah.
And I want us to bring that in each other. I find that the males that I've considered maybe spending some time romantic dating, it just sounds like a joke to me these days.
I know.
I get excited because I'm like, ooh, there's the good energy, some good vibrations,
Yeah.
and then I realize too much of a challenge, I think. And that's okay, that's whatever.
I think
Go that way.
I think it could be because the opposite sex can be. They say they're intimidated because maybe they haven't been around women who will speak their mind and hold but their boundaries and keep their mental health, keep their mental wellness. It keep working on their mental health, mental wellness.
Yeah, but there's no secret.
That's why they
Where
say
I'm
we're
at
intimidating.
with everything.
because
I
we
put it all
hold-
out there.
We hold it, yeah.
You know? Do I
We're
come
gonna
off
hold
as
to these
challenging?
standards because that's where I'm at.
Yes. And I encourage anyone who wants to get into a romantic partnership, wouldn't you want someone that's going to bring out the best in you,
Yes.
celebrate you, and challenge you
Yeah.
in that loving manner of I want to be raised up, and I want to be able to raise my partner up too.
Yeah,
I want to level up
together.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in love hated though for a long time, Sarah. I mean, a long time to me is like 3 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck love. It's not possible. I'm
Yeah.
done with that. I've heard people say you only have one true love or two true loves in a lifetime. I'm like, I'm screwed. I just saw my friend Holly, and guess what? She was just told. I don't know who told her. She was like, it was like 6. You have 6 loves in a lifetime. I'm like, who comes up with this stuff? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I know I haven't had no 6
says that?
loves of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I'd say 2. And I only think that because definitely where I was at in that space, I had children.
Yeah.
That's how I know there had to have been deep love there, at least on my side. Whatever.
Yeah.
Because I definitely wanted to have a continuing dynamic there. But when it was 1 or 2 loves of your life, I'm like, man, I haven't even reached my halfway point.
Yeah.
So it is what
Right.
it is. So yeah, I guess last question would be, when you feel ready, give me 3 things that your ideal companion partner that for you jump out our report.
Let's see. Understanding that my kids come first. Understanding that my recovery comes first.
Mhm.
And that
Puts you first.
yeah.
Okay, and looks like a little
Maybe. Yeah.
What about like those like it's not guaranteed, but something that ideal. Like let's get into fantasy land a little bit. Ideally,
Like, what would my companion have?
yeah, partner. Like, what would get you excited about love again?
What would get me excited about love again?
I gotta tell you, we're in a space with a lot of other single folks, and I've noticed some. And my first thought is, I wonder how much time or how much they put into their recovery. Because
Yeah.
it's not about the time necessarily. They be walking nice, and I know I have to get some conversation in to understand. Would they challenge me? Would they also be equally ready? Because I know I ain't playing with no physical stuff no more. I actually got myself in some trouble in Costa Rica. Sarah, nobody knows about that deal. Sarah does. But I went in really bad, crazy town really quickly.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm a changed person, Sarah. I made it clear, and it got misconstrued. And that was my fault. That was my bad. I should have known better. But I can keep things separate, especially when I know there's. Never mind.
Yes,
We're not going
yes,
into that.
yes, yes.
I've learned a valuable lesson, though.
Yeah.
So I might feel attraction to another human being. So that if I'm looking into your eyes, I'm sizing you up what you're saying. I hope you're funny. I hope you like a sense of humor that sometimes doesn't make sense. You just laugh at my jokes. I'll instantly be attracted.
Oh, right.
You know? Ooh, so I'm picturing LJ. You know, and he's got like that smoothness. Yeah, ooh, Granny, look at your lips.
Definitely does.
Woo!
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just energies. I've been attracted to folks that was initially the last person I thought I would have attraction to. But in a conversation
Yeah.
and hearing that, feeling that connection, like the vibration, the energy was there. And I've had experiences where I've seen this person, I've heard about this person. Nothing like made me feel like I need to go meet this person. And having some conversation, like I now understand why people have talked about that attraction, not promotion, but the depth. I feel like that's one thing in recovery. In the certain groups, not everybody in recovery is working a program. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I can catch that out right away.
Yeah.
But when I can hear someone share some wisdom about their recovery and see that passion and that joy and that just twinkle in their eye, like I get, obviously, ooh, that's like an instant, like, my soul's like attracted to your soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can make the
Definitely.
outside things work later.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, thank you for participating in this late night session.
Awesome.
And what's beautiful is I know that we're live and it's recorded and I can edit later. As I'm kind of, I just want anyone who's come on to this collaboration thing to thank everyone. And I'm going to sign off now. There might be one more. We'll see how it plays out, but I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And
It's been a long weekend.
yeah, thank you for being what was the last speaker saying? My last hostage?
Last hostage.
Isn't that great? When she's talking about you get into another relationship, go seeking another hostage. I'm like, ooh, that's a great way to put it. Hostage. You don't know what's you're
She
gonna
didn't
be.
take me hostage.
Kidnapped.
I came willingly.
Yeah. And it was great. It was great. Right? It was nice little
Awesome.
thing. And everybody, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Peace, love, serenity. End stream.